We started the week off with great news. Joe Biden announced Monday that the CIA had successfully killed Ayman al-Zawahiri, one of the masterminds of all the attacks from al-Qaeda on the U.S., partner of Osama bin Laden, and currently the leader of al-Qaeda. They killed him in Kabul, Afghanistan. So, standing ovation to the CIA and any others involved in that mission. I want to keep up this feeling of good news and talk about climate change. And I know you might be shocked with that, because how can there be good news there? Because the press, it's their job to make you fear for your life, make you believe that if we don't do something today, your grandkids will not have an Earth because humanity will be extinct. Now, let me just say, I believe in climate science. I do not believe that the computer models predicting what's going to happen in 20, 30 years, that's not science, okay? I would trust a palm reader to give me advice on stock trades before I would trust those computer models. They are not science. Don't worry, we're not headed for catastrophe. But that aside, let me give you some good news that you'll never hear from the press. Number one, just some examples. For 70 years in a row, we've seen a decrease in the number of deaths from climate or weather events. That's incredible. Decrease for 70 years in a row. And why? Not because of taxes and regulation, but because of innovation and technology, capitalism. You know, the worst heat wave in the history of this country happened along with some droughts at the worst possible time during the Great Depression. Thousands of people died because of heat. No more. They invented this thing called an air conditioner. And I would love to say to Joe Biden and the Democrats, listen, if you really want to help out with climate change, instead of spending trillions of dollars trying to stop something in 2050 that you may not be able to do, how about spending hundreds of dollars on some air conditioners to give especially to elderly people who might die in the current heat wave this summer and today? A second piece of good news, and you maybe heard me talk about this before because I like to honor Al Gore, the greatest false prophet of our time. He said back in his Inconvenient Truth, his documentary, his book back in 2006, that the polar bears were going to be extinct at the North Pole, and quickly, because the ice was melting so much and they need the ice, to live on. Well, I hate to break the news to Al, but the good news is the polar bears, not only are they not extinct, they are growing in numbers like crazy. It's funny, in 2006, polar bears were everywhere on his marketing material. He did another, a 10-year reunion thing called the Inconvenient Sequel. No polar bears are mentioned in this one. He did that in 2017. And finally, one more, and this is to deal with all the CO2 stuff. You may not know this, but we have the greatest record on the reduction of CO2 emissions. We're leading the world, including all those European countries. And again, it's not because of taxes and regulations. It's because of natural gas. Natural gas has replaced so much coal in our country that it has literally caused us to have a great reduction in our CO2 emissions. And for that, we should be grateful and we should celebrate. All in all, it seems like a good week, and I thought maybe you just need some good news when it comes to climate change.